Welcome everyone, friends and furs of all species. I'm Dayzee, Hyena. We're back with another episode of Angels with Scaly Wings. Now this time we're gonna go on my favorite character's route. Adine. Adine's route. She is by far my favorite character. She's so happy and stuff. So I'm really excited to get into this. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, now first thing we're gonna do, order some lunch. I remember that Adine had told me that the cafe did deliveries as well, and not having anything else better to do, I figured I should try it out. I made my order with a quick phone call, and it wasn't long before the doorbell rang. Well, that was quick. It just so happened that Adine herself stood in the doorway, dripping wet with damp container in her grip. Oh, this picture always makes me look so sad. It's you again. Likewise. Shouldn't it come as a surprise considering you know I delivered for the cafe? Here's your order. Sorry it got a little wet, but it should still be okay. You're soaked. Why don't you come in? Thanks, I was just about to ask you if I could stay a while. This was actually my last delivery for the day and I live on the other side of town. Of course, I couldn't let you fly back when it's this ugly outside. Feel right at home. I better eat this before it gets cold. I sat down at the table and started eating my food while Adine decided to take a seat opposite of me. Do you like it? Yeah, I ordered something I knew I'd actually like this time. I didn't want to make the same mistake I did earlier today. Do you have something similar where you come from? We do. As a matter of fact, it's almost scary how close it is to what we have back at home. Really? Maybe we all just share a similar taste. Maybe there's more to it than that. What do you mean? Well, don't you trace your origins back to humans in some way? I know what kind of reputation we have in your culture. That is true. Let me ask you this. Where do you think the portal you found came from? Who built it? Humans did it, of course. Exactly. If you believe humans had something to do with an artifact created who knows how many years ago, it wouldn't be a stretch to think that they could also have influenced you in other ways. Even something as simple as this dish. I like that idea. So what do you do when you aren't working in the restaurant? Do you have a family? Well, most of the time I take care of my kids. Oh, I still love her so much. Oh, how nice. How many children do you have? They aren't really my children per se. I just take care of them. So you are more of a foster parent then? Not quite. They're orphan children I'm talking about. I just volunteered to spend some time with them. So I really am more of a babysitter and a teacher all in one. I can't really take them in and care for them 24/7 like a proper parent would. I'd love to, but I work far too much to be a single parent. With the amount of time I spend at the restaurant, I don't think the kids would be any better off, so I just help out whenever I can. She is such a saint. I love her. That's very nice of you. Thanks. These kids already didn't get a very good hand in life. I just thought that if I can make even a small difference for them, it'd be worth it. I see. What about hobbies? Do you have any? Can I ask a question for a change? Well, can you? You're silly. I like that. Well, I don't really know much about you. Actually, I'm not sure if there is anyone here who does. What would you like to know? What did you do before you came here? Nothing special. This is the first time I did something that was actually related to them. The work I did previously was just to keep... This is the first time I did something that was actually related to them. The work I did previously was just to keep afloat. I know what you mean. I suppose it's my turn again, so tell me about your hobbies. The one I enjoy most is probably flying. Just flying? Well, not just flying. I do aerobatics or stunt flying. I've been doing that
On and off for a couple of years now.
You must be the most overqualified delivery flyer in history then. Actually, that might not be so far from the truth. I'm actually hoping to be part of a competition in some time. Awesome, where can I watch? I suppose that depends whether you'll still be here when it takes place. It's part of the festival we hold in this town every year. Okay, since it's my turn again, well, this might be an unusual question. So, when they said it was a human that would be coming here, I kind of expected something different. I know, Remy told me about some of the commonly held beliefs here. I mean, yeah, you do look different from us, but you're not really anything like some of the things that have been said about your kind. I could say the same thing about you. Really? Yeah, we have plenty of myths about dragons. Like what? They are often cited as a symbol of power and strength, but also one of wisdom, possessing an intellect that has no equal. They are noble creatures, and their depictions enjoy an almost universal appeal. I could get used to that, though it would be even nicer if it were true. To be honest, I don't know if it is such a good idea to generalize like that. Even if it's a good thing you're saying about us, we are all different, you know, and not all of us are nice. I see. But then we have said many good things about your kind too. Well, no matter what you might think about humans, I can assure you that I am no way special or supernatural. I disagree with that. Why? You said that you aren't special, but just the fact that you are here with us right now is quite special to me and many others. Just try to see it the other way around. You know, you have a good point. What were you thinking when you first heard about us? I honestly thought it was awesome. I thought making a discovery like this was just awesome. Many people would love to have the opportunity I had by coming here. I see. So it's not so one-sided after all. So don't be surprised if some of us feel the same way. And it's not just the discovery of you dragons. We found a portal to an entirely different world. We still haven't figured that one out. Neither have we. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. By the way, interesting selection of books you have there. Draconic Desire, Ixomin Sphere, are these all yours? No, they were already here when I moved in. Have you read any of them? I did read the Sheridan and the Scepter of Sovereignty. How did you like it? Wasn't really my kind of thing. I can see why. Oh, you've got The Prince and the Prayer. You should totally read that one. You think so? Why's that? It's not just an interesting story, it's based on true events. The author is so right when he says there's a lot that we can learn from what happened back then. I'll check it out when I have the time. Let me know when you do. I'd be interested in hearing what you have to say about it. Alright, since you asked me about my family earlier, I'm going to do the same thing. Is there a Mr. or Mrs. Dayzee back home waiting for you? No, I can't say there is. How about a potential Miss or Mrs. Dayzee then? Are you looking to date someone? Yes. Oh, it's a shame you can't be with them now then. Or are you talking about someone you've met here? No. Oh well, that's a shame. No one from around here to catch your eye. I'm not sure how many questions that was, but I'm sure it's not your turn anymore. Are we even still playing this game? You started it. That is true. You seem to be enjoying it though. You know, why don't we make this a little more interesting while we're at it? What do you suggest? Strip poke. I'm joking. Truth or dare? What's that? We continue asking questions, but if one of us doesn't want to answer the question, we have to do something the other person tells us to. I don't even know what kind of dare I would make you do. It could be something that would make me uncomfortable or something you'd like to see me do. Anything. Well, keep in mind that revenge might come quicker than you think, so don't ask someone for anything you wouldn't do yourself. Got it. So who's first? You asked the last few questions, so it's only fair I start. Alright. What is your most guarded secret? I don't really keep secrets. That's not a real answer. But it's the truth. You know, you aren't very good at this game. Hey, it's my first time. Don't worry about it. Since it's my turn now, what is your greatest wish? World peace. More than anything, I want there to be peace on Earth. That is an honorable wish, Dayzee. Okay, my turn. What would you do if you were invisible for a day? Invisible, huh? That's a hard one. I mean, no one could see me flying, and I do want people to see that. Well, with this question, it's more of a, what would you do if you had the opportunity to do something without getting caught? Like something mischievous or criminal. Robbing every bank. Not only would I rob a bank, I would go to every single one and set fire to all the documents that contain loans. Alright? Your school loan, poof, gone. Home loan, poof. Car, poof. All y'all got free shit, not just me. Oh, I know what I would do. I'd check the building they found along with the portal. What building? Didn't you hear about that? They found the whole building along with the portal. It's actually underground, and they have it heavily guarded while a team of archaeologists work on it. I think it might contain many secrets and answers about the portal and where it came from. Interesting. I think I'd like to check that out as well. If you knew the world was gonna end, what would you do? Say my last goodbyes and hope for the best. And optimise it to the very end. I like that. If you could come back to my world, would you do it? What's your biggest regret? Oh my! I think it might be time for a dare now. Alright. Move your headgear, kiss me, bite a lemon. Oh, what should we do? Oh, what should we do? Oh, what should we do? Kiss me! No, we probably get to bang her later. This is never kiss on the first date, I suppose. That's what you're supposed to do if you're not me, you, or myself. So. Okay, bite into a lemon. Is that all? You can find one in the pantry. Alright. So, I should just take a bite out of this one. That's your dare. If you say so. She didn't even peel it or anything. I'm not sure what's so special about that. You didn't mind it at all? Not a bit. Oh, she likes sour shit, huh? I see. Alright, so from those you have met here so far, who is the one you fancy the most? I think I'll take a dare for this one. Oh, finally! What am I going to have you do? Whatever you like. No, I honestly have no idea. Have me bite the lemon. Take your time. Alright, let me think for a minute. Oh, it looks like it's getting late. Wait, what time is it? Whoops, it seems like I've been here longer than I thought. I probably should be going now. Seems like the rain has stopped too. Yeah, that's great. Anyway, if you want to invite me over here again, why don't I give you my personal number and we can just skip the part where you order food to make me come by. But I like the food. Or maybe I'll get your number instead, since you ordered from us. I already have it anyway. I'm not sure what to say to that. Take it as a compliment. Bye. I love Adine. She's so awesome. She was gone as quickly as she appeared, but given her enthusiasm, I doubt that was the last time I would hear from her. Okay, since this was, last time when we played Bryce's route. When we were at his office, we found a code that was button, like counterclockwise. Hold up. Button, counterclockwise. Okay. So, I'm gonna go to Tatsu Park. Okay, press the first button. Press the second button. Turn the lever counterclockwise. The arrow on the lever is now pointing left. What's going on? Yes! I made it! I looked down to see the maintenance tunnel for the underground drain system, a pale object starkly contrast against the pitch black backdrop. Am I gonna get it? It's a cloth with suspicious red markings all over it. You acquired a bloody bandage. Gross! I guess that's all to be found down here. What? That's it? Really? All that for nothing, huh? Looks like there are some messages on the answering machine. Let's see. Please leave a message after the beep. Gotcha! You thought that was your answering machine, but it was me, Adine. I mean, it's not like I can use your excuse to pretend to order something from you. After all, you don't even have anything to sell or deliver, unless... Well, I don't think you're that kind of person. Check yourself, because I may throw that ass in a circle for the right amount of money. I hope this is the right number, or someone is going to be very confused. Well, she did get the right number, and I'm still confused. This should be the right address. I'm coming. What's you? I was expecting someone else. You're a little early. Yeah, I didn't know how long it would take me to get here. Better early than late, right? She's so cute! Look at Tiny! And who might that be? This is Marie. She's one of the kids I work with. Hello, Emily. Say hi, Emily. Hello. I just have to bring her back to the orphanage real quick. Feel free to make yourself at home in the meantime, okay? Sure. By the way, in order to unlock Remy, you have to have met Emily. In order to unlock Remy's good end. I don't know what that is or why, but hey. So this is where you live, Adine. Small but cozy. I'm back. That was quick. Being able to fly does have its perks, you know. I think I would like to be a wyvern. If it was any kind of dragon, it would be a wyvern. Wait, you flew her back? Well, I am a delivery flyer. She just delivers kids too. She doesn't get scared or anything? Not at all. She's such a brave little girl. So what exactly do you do at the orphanage? I am a volunteer. I help out with whatever they need and sometimes take care of the kids. They only have so many social workers. The ratio is about 1 social worker for every 10 children. Ah, fuck. So it's good for the kids to spend some one-on-one time with someone they know. I guess you can almost call it babysitting, but for the kids, we are basically become foster parents. The older they get, the less likely they are to be adopted. She might be too old to be considered soon. Aw, baby. What a shame. Yeah, I know. I'm worried about what would happen to her if she doesn't find a family. Man, like legit, in college I did a report about statistics of what happens when children age out of the foster system. That shit is not good. So I'm really, this is really hurting me. We still take care of her, of course, but it's not quite the same as having parents. I'd adopt her myself, but I don't think I could care for her properly. Not as a single parent with my packed work schedule. I still volunteer as often as I can, because if I don't, who will? Someone needs to be there for those kids. You are such an angel, Adine. That's very nice of you. Thanks, but for me it's not about being nice. I almost feel obligated to help, you know. Anyway, let's talk about something less depressing. Like what? Let me think. Oh, I just remembered that someone died here recently. How is that less depressing? Here in your apartment? No, not here, silly, but it was close though. Barely a block from here. Right, the murder of the maintenance guy. I remember that. Wait, it was a murder? I didn't know that. I thought it was an accident or something. That's terrible. Sorry for mentioning it. Finding the first victim was already bad enough for me. And now I have to hear that there was another murder in town. I wish I could get some good news for the once. Don't just focus on the bad things. Don't just focus on the bad things. It's no use lamenting in something you can't change. Sorry, Dayzee. I guess I should be more positive. It's just not always easy, you know. Preaching to the choir, Adine. Maybe you'll get some good news soon. I hope so. That reminds me, I've got something I wanted to try on you. Try on me? It's nothing too drastic. I read this magazine the other day and found a few interesting articles. Using her partial hand, she held up a magazine to show me its cover. A rather bold-looking female was presented on the front, adorned with trinkets like rings and jewels. Various headlines gave me an idea of the content within. It reminded me a lot of the typical gossip magazines back home. Oh god. My mom, my grandma, and my aunt, they all read those all day long. It is ridiculous. Of course, I'm on social media, so I know everything in those books like weeks before they do. Lifestyle, the magazine for modern people. This issue came with a set of fortune cards. I'm not sure what to expect. Isn't that the whole fun of it? What should we look at first? You decide. Alright, let's see. Here, this article talks about dreams and what they mean. Have you had any strange or reoccurring dreams lately? Dreams are often about the people I know. I don't dream at all. Been dreaming of fire. Fire? That's interesting. Apparently, that's a rather common symbol that can mean a variety of things. Another thing to consider is the significant symbol to the dreamer. So what does fire mean to you? Fire can be destructive, but also wild and passionate. It can represent an issue or problem you can no longer ignore, similar to an actual fire breaking out. It also mentions prophetic dreams, but let's hope yours doesn't fall into that category. I doubt they do. Don't be so sure. Yeah. What about your dreams? Oh man, does that mean that the ending, there's gonna be a fire? If so, I'm mad. Why does my back itch a lot today? What about your dreams? It kind of feels like they are different every night. Most of them are nonsense, but sometimes I dream about the people I used to know. What do you make of all this? I don't know. Even the article concludes that scientists haven't figured out exactly why we dream. It's a big mystery. Alright, let's move on. Oh, I thought you meant moving on from the magazine. Don't be such a sourpuss. There is some interesting stuff in here. That dream stuff wasn't so bad. Man, I love talking about dreams and zodiacs and astrology, all this shit. I love talking about cool shit like this rather than, hey, how's the weather today? See, I told you this was going to be fun. What's next? A personality test. Didn't you always want to know what kind of relationship would suit you? I already know what I want in a relationship. Sure. Let's find out. Okay, first question in the relationship. What role do you take? I prefer to take the reins. Is that so? Moving on to the next question. Wait, aren't you going to answer the questions too? I'll take the test after you. I don't want to keep track of both of our scores at once. Alright. Question number 2. What is your favorite dessert? I like chocolate cream cake, but lemon ice cream with sprinkles. That's unusual, but it sounds really interesting. I'd love to try some. At least it's not hot. I was actually driving in a parking lot to pick up some like stuff my mom had tailored, and I drove past a marble slab, and in front of it had a sign that said, "Try our new flaming hot Cheeto ice cream." What? Who? That I don't understand the thought process behind hot Cheetos and ice cream. If somebody could explain it to me below, please explain it, because I don't understand. Here's the next question. What is your dream job? Stay-at-home parent. I'm with you on that one, but does that really qualify as a job? Don't question that. That shit is 100% a real job. Okay? My sister's a stay-at-home parent. That shit's real. 100% that's a job. Hardcore, 24/7. No off days, no breaks, nothing. Real job times 5. Are you questioning the almighty magazine? Forget I said anything. How many more questions are there? That's all of them. Now I look up the results. Oh, it says here the results are outlined in the weight loss booklet that came with the magazine, but they already threw that away. Why would you do that? You clear what? Guess we'll never find out what. What a shame. Yeah, I really wanted to know. But now we can get to the best part, the fortune cards. That's what I was looking forward to. I've actually never had a tarot card reading. I've always wanted to have a tarot card reading. Me too. How is this supposed to work anyway? I mean, they're just cards. How can they predict the future? Apparently, there are different schools of thought regarding the use of fortune-telling cards. The cards themselves don't know anything, they're just a tool. So, the information actually comes from somewhere else. But where though? Well, one interpretation is that our subconscious who gives us the answers that we seek. Similar to how dreams can be interpreted, the interpretation of the card is very dependent on the person itself and the symbols they recognize in the card's image. We recognize images that are relevant to our lives, and that gives us an idea about ourselves and the current problems. However, that is the most grounded interpretation out there. People usually associated something more paranormal with the fortune cards. One of those explanations is the cards are a way to communicate with a higher being, a paranormal entity that knows more than we do and can give subtle nudges using the cards. And who would that be? The explanations range from ghosts to angelic beings. One even involves humans. Really? Yeah, people would say you can communicate with humans this way. And then there was something about they called the higher self. Higher self? How come you know so much about this? Because I read an article about it. Oh. Okay, what should I draw for you? Why don't I get to be the one who's reading the fortune? Because I paid for the magazine, so the cards are mine. Fair. Okay. So what are my options? I could read your past, present, or the future. What's it going to be? Present. Let's see what it says about the present. According to this, understanding our present situation is paramount to understanding the future. As what we do now influences the future that will become our present. Oh, this is interesting. What does it mean? Crossroads are ahead of you. Be wary of your decisions, for the consequences may be dire. Careful actions may have rewarding results, but careless could have consequences reaching further than you might think. No shit. This game. At least that's what the description says. What is your opinion on this? I feel this is totally true. I feel like this is totally true, especially if you consider what it means for me to be here. I'm aware that whatever I do here could impact a lot of lives. I see. In that case, I agree. You should be very careful. I guess that's everything the magazine has to offer. Now you can finally put it where it belongs, in the trash. Yeah, actually, it's not like I'm going to read the articles again. But I'll keep the cards because it'd be a shame to throw them away. The pictures are so artistic and pretty. I agree with you there. It's got to be so much work to create a magazine like that. From selecting the topics, writing the articles, doing all the photos and layouts, and then get it to the shops and the hands of the consumers. All that work just for it to end up in the trash. With how often they come out, it's like they're designed to be disposable. At least they can be recycled. At least they can recycle the materials. True. Like I said, my granny, my aunt, and my mom read those magazines. My sister used to, she doesn't anymore, but make fursuits. Whenever she would make a full body fursuit, you would need a duct tape dummy. And in order to stuff the duct tape dummy, she would take the magazines that they were done reading, crumple them up, and shove them inside, and that would give it the shape. So, yeah. That's true, I suppose. So, do you have anything interesting going on at the moment? I can't imagine what an ambassador's life is like. It's been busy. I thought this whole thing would go by quickly and without any mishaps, but now it seems like there's always something happening. Oh, really? Yeah, I figured I'd come here to do exchange and leave again, but apparently it's not that easy. It never is. You speak like you have experience as an ambassador. Well, no, but doing deliveries is similar. People order something, I fly it to them. We exchange the product for the payment, and then I go back. Basically the same thing. Yeah, sure. But things always go wrong. For example, imagine you have 2 deliveries to make and the first one goes smoothly, okay? I'm imagining it very hard right now. Alright, so you get to the destination of the second delivery and they actually check what you are handing them. It turns out that you mixed up the orders, but you've already delivered the first one. That's certainly not a pleasant situation to be in. Now you have to go back to the first family you delivered to, who by now have probably noticed that they got the wrong delivery, and exchange what you gave them for what they actually ordered. Right? But it turns out they didn't mind the mix-up. As a matter of fact, they've already started eating what they got instead. It's not so bad that they aren't angry, but now that you can't exchange the orders anymore, you have to fly back to the restaurant to get the second order remade. Happens all the time. As a result, the people waiting for the second order do to get angry because their order has to be remade and delivered all over again. And the plot thickens. And they complain, and of course their mayor gets comped. And the restaurant can no longer sell their first order you still have, so the orders for both families are deducted from your paycheck, and you end up eating nothing but ramen all week again, just so you can make the rent this month. If you remake the second order, keep the first one that got messed up, and that's what you eat. Hack right there. But like legit, me as a consumer, whenever it comes to anyone like in the food or service industry, bro, you can fuck up so bad as long as your blood, hair, or like any other body fluids are not in my food. I don't give a fuck. Like legit, I don't care. As long as it's clean food, you're good. Not gonna complain. That is unfortunate. And that's why you should always double check your orders, because even a small mistake can have consequences reaching further than you think. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way. I guess so. Anyway, what else have you been up to recently? Do you remember the stunt flying competition I told you about? Of course, I assumed your participation is a given by now. Actually, I'm not sure about that. I mailed the application earlier today, so hopefully it will arrive before the deadline. Or maybe I should fly it over myself while showing off a few moves at least. You should fly it over anyway, just to make sure it gets in. It would be a shame if you couldn't enter because of a technicality. I really should drop by. By the way, can you do me a favor? That depends on the favor, I suppose. It's kind of a long story, but there's something I need. You know some people at the police station, right? Yeah. I think they're in possession of a map related to the underground building they found. I've heard about that. Oh, that's great. Maybe you can get them to hand it over. It doesn't have to be the real thing. A copy would be just fine. What do you even need it for? Let's just say I'm interested in doing a little investigation of the place myself. What's so special about it? It's supposed to be a remnant of the earlier civilization, or maybe even something created by humans. Who wouldn't be interested in that? What, an actual human sitting in front of you is not good enough? If I had you all to myself, it might be enough. But since your stay is only temporary, I'll need some other human-related things to keep me busy. How do I even ask for something like that? You could always say that humanity is interested in it. Honestly, they probably would be. Aw, she's begging. Could you ask them for me, please? I can try. I won't promise anything, but I can certainly try. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I didn't know you were into archaeology. I wouldn't care as much if it turned out to just be some old building. The whole thing about it being made by humans is what's really interesting. Why's that? Well, the myths wouldn't be very mythical anymore. If that was the case, we'd have proof. And that's so shortly after finding out that humans are, in fact, real. Yes, what a time to be alive. So you believe in all that stuff? Believe isn't the right word when you're standing right in front of me, you know. That alone is a miracle. I get excited all over just thinking about it. Speaking of which, all this excitement is making me lose track of the time. Is it that late already? actually have places to be, especially if I want to make sure my contest application arrives on time. I guess I should be going then, huh? Unless you want to sit in my empty apartment. You can always pay me a visit. You can always pay me a visit during practice sometime if you like. You mean your stunt flying practice? Yeah. Anyway, I have to go. I'll call you later, okay? Sure. Okay, this is another thing that you need to unlock Adine's real entry. We have already done it, and you have to do it at least in one playthrough, but you have to study the blueprint and thereby make a copy of it. Looks like there are some messages on the answering machine. Let's see. Congratulations! You, Dayzee, have been invited to an exclusive event featuring the world-famous stunt pilot Adine. Watch her from behind closed doors and be one of the first to see her newest routine, sure to win at this year's stunt flying competition. Afterwards, you will be allowed backstage for a short meet and greet with the talent herself. Don't expect any autographs, though. I love it. What an opportunity. Here we are again. Just a minute. I hope I didn't forget anything. You said something about going to the beach. Yep. You know, I'm glad they decided not to send you away after all. Me too. Guess who got her entry in for... Oh, guess who got her entry confirmation for the stunt flying competition? Is it me? Don't be silly, Dayzee. I've got it right here in black and white. We are happy to confirm your entry to the annual stunt flying competition. Please have your competitor number ready and show up at the organizer's booth at the summer festival by... Well, who cares about the rest? I'm in. That's great. Yeah, but the festival's pretty soon. I have to make the most of the time until then to get my skills up to par. I thought you already had years of experience. Yeah, but now I have to practice the best routine I can possibly come up with. Not to mention making sure I can execute it flawlessly when the time comes. Practicing in general is very different than practicing for an event like this one. I see. Are you ready to see some stunt flying? Sure. Let's go then. Oh, pretty. So this is where you usually practice? I practice just about anywhere, but the days that I stay for the beach visit, water and sand are also good surfaces to practice complicated maneuvers on, in case you can't make the landing. Makes sense. Well, don't let me hold you up. Oh, I can't just start practicing right now. I'm still guilty with excitement from getting that letter earlier. Besides, I wanted to hang out with you for a while we're here. Sounds good to me. Do you visit the beach often? Not really, except for the practice. It does make for a nice backdrop when I fly, though. I see. Do you ever go to the beach? No, it's not something that was possible for me the last couple of years, but it certainly used to be something other people would do. I see. Sunning yourself can be nice sometimes, but I'm not really a fan of going swimming. There is so much more you can do at the beach, though. Like what? You already mentioned sunning. Do you ever get a tan? What's that? I guess that's a no then. To be fair, you are completely covered in scales, so I imagine you wouldn't be affected. Tanning is a reaction of the skin when it's exposed to sunlight. If a human stays in the sun for a while, our skin can get darker. How strange! One time, when I was putting sunscreen on myself, apparently I didn't put enough on one leg, and so I got a burn, and for 3 months, my left leg was like 5 shades darker than my right leg. It was the funniest thing. It reminded me of Monokuma. And if we're exposed for too long, we can even get what's called a sunburn. And what's that? Well, the skin can take on a reddish tint, and it can also be painful and cause dizziness. So you have to be careful not to stay in the sun for too long. Pretty much. Though that isn't necessarily true for all of us. Depending on the skin tone, people can be more or less affected by the radiation. I see, that sounds kind of complicated. Does that mean we shouldn't stay here for too long? Since I burn really bad, I'll just be careful. I see, just let me know if I need to do anything. Sure, will do. You said you don't like swimming all that much. Why is that? Well, as you can imagine, I prefer the air to the sea, even though we flyers have quite a relationship with the water. What kind of relationship are we talking about? We use it to hunt. I see, so you go fishing, but can't swim all that well? Pretty much. We could do enough to safely hunt the paddles on the surface, but that's about it. If we actually want to go swimming, it's recommended we wear a life vest. Is it that bad? The movements and musculature are rather different. With some training, we can learn to swim better, but it still wouldn't be really effective. I see. And besides, who would choose to learn to swim if we already have air to ourselves? Flying is just your thing, I guess. Pretty much. You made it sound as if beaches are a pretty important thing for humans. I wouldn't say important. Rather, it's a unique way for people to spend time. It was often done as a leisure activity or a way to spend holiday vacations. That sounds pretty important to me. What else do you do at the beach? Let me think. I got an idea and started looking for something in the sand on the ground. With a bit of digging, I found a flat, smooth stone and showed it to her. Do you have any idea what I'm going to do with this? Not really. Let me show you something. I went to the edge of the water, followed closely by Adine. Now watch this. I extended my arm with the best technique I could muster before I threw a stone towards the water. Spinning in the air, the stone bounced on the water's surface a few times before it sunk into the sea. What was that? Stone skipping. Never heard of it? No, how'd you do that? I can show you. I looked around for another suitable stone as soon as I found one near the edge of the water. Let's start with the stone. Ideally, you want one that has a big surface but as flat as possible. Got it. This one is also really smooth, which helps too. Okay, so we need a smooth, flat stones. Now the technique is also pretty important. I'm not sure how well this will translate to your anatomy, but I'll show you how to do it, and then we can figure out what you can do. Okay. Hold the stone like this, extend your arm, and curl it like this. Then you have to throw it in such a way that it stays relatively stable in the air but spins as fast as you can make it. I do it like this. I threw the stone once again, showing her how subsequently bounced a few times over the water's surface before it sunk into the sea. I'm not sure if I could do that. We'll see. Maybe we can figure something out. Let's look for a stone first. Okay. We both started looking for another appropriate stone. I saw Adine scratching around the beach with one of her feet. She crouched down to pick something before she returned to me. Yeah, what about this one? That should work. See, you've already got that part down. I guess so. Okay, now for the technique. She was holding the stone in the claws at the edge of her wing. I tried to guide her by pulling her wing back like I would an arm, but it became clear to me that it lacked a lot of maneuverability an arm would have. For the throw, you'll want to move your wing forward as fast as you can, and at the very same extension, let go of the stone. I'll try. I could see her moving her weight awkwardly. She pushed it forward before releasing the stone, which sunk without bouncing a single time. That didn't work. Yeah, there wasn't really enough spin on it. Let me try again. Alright. I waded a few steps into the water to retrieve the stone she'd thrown only moments ago. Here you go. I'll try something different this time. Feel free. Instead of using her wings, she took the stone into her dexterous claws on one of her feet as she continued to stand on the other leg. Effortlessly, she pulled her leg back before rapidly moving it forward and releasing the stone. It flew in a bit of an upward arc before it bounced off the water's surface once and subsequently sunk into the ocean's waters. Nice! Not bad, huh? I had no idea you could do that with your leg. Actually, our legs are what we use mainly to grab things. It only gets complicated if I'm supposed to be moving at the same time, like when I'm waiting in the cafe. Interesting. I suppose someone who's hunting while flying, that's pretty much a requirement. It is actually. If I'm home and eating chips or something, I usually use my feet as well. I wish I could do. Well, I can kind of do that. I do that around my house. Sometimes I'll like pick up things with my feet, or like open or close the dishwasher doors and stuff. I do that with my feet. Oh, really? Yeah, some monkeys actually can. They basically have hands instead of feet. So they have 4 hands. Yep. That seems like it to be handy, but I think I like my wings better. That was a neat trick though. So what else can you do at the beach? I don't know. Build sandcastles? I haven't done that in like 2 decades. I tried to imagine what Adine building a sandcastle would look like. Based on what I knew now, she probably wouldn't be using her wings. Would you believe me if I told you we used to have contests for building sandcastles back home? Really? Yeah, people would build huge detailed sculptures that would be taller than both of us just with sand. Oh wow, that sounds hard though. Trust me, it is. To me, it seems a bit of a shame to build big, elaborate sculptures out of something like sand that clearly won't last. I mean, if you're going to spend so much time on it, why not create something that will stay? I agree, but it's also so like both. I agree, all that effort only to be swept away by the tide, worn down by the weather, seems wasteful. It's kind of sad if you think about it. I guess we won't be building any sandcastles then. I'm in the mood for a snack. Should I get something for you as well? Yes, please. Alright. You can watch me if you like. Maybe you can learn a thing or two from it. You want to teach me how to fish? Sure, since you taught me what was it called again? Stone skipping. Right, since you taught me the stone skipping, I can show you how to fish. Okay. We actually have 2 very different ways of doing it. There's hunting and angling. Personally, I prefer hunting though. I can see why. Let me demonstrate. She took a few steps back, then started running towards the edge of the sea, rapidly flapping her wings. She jumped into the air at the last second, taking off flying around the area. I could see her staring at the sea intently, circling a few times before descending towards the water's surface, claws extended. When she got close enough, her claws suddenly sunk into the water, only to reappear with a fish in their grasp. Afterwards, she returned and landed near me. Oh, I love it with the goggles! Did you see that? Yeah, but I think my distinct lack of wings would probably prevent me from doing the same thing. You don't have to do the exact same thing. In the end, I'm just grabbing them right out of the sea. You could do that. I did that once when I was a kid. Me and my friend, Eva, we were standing in the water, right? And we were just wading in the water. It was like up to our knees at the deepest. And this big fish, like it wasn't enormous, but it was pretty good size. It was swimming around the area, and it was pretty slow, and Eva pointed, and she's like, look, a fish! And I don't know, I wanted to be a ninja or something. I slammed my hand down into the water, grabbed, and pulled it out, and holy shit, I was expecting him to swim away. I had a motherfucking fish in my arm, in my hand. Like, I'm not sure who had the bigger oh shit face, me or the fish. Like, and then of course there was like an old lady on the beach who was like, oh my god! And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And he was like, I don't know. And I threw it into the ocean. It was great. I'm not sure about that. I bet it's a lot easier with your claws. Fish can be pretty slippery. I guess you have a point. Well, there's still another method. Angling? Yep, angling. See my tail? She showed me her tail. At the end, it was a fork in it. With the distinct shape, size, and color, it reminded me a lot of a banana. What about it? This is the bait? She sat down near the edge of the water, letting her tail hang down into it. And this can take a while sometimes, but there are techniques which can speed up the process. The right amount of movement attracts different kinds of fish. That way we can even choose what we're going to get. And that works? Yeah, not all the time, but often enough. Interesting. There are even groups that exchange tips and such for angling this way. Suddenly I saw her whip her tail upwards, which caused a fish to be launched towards the beach, where it landed on the ground with an audible thud. There you go! That didn't take too long. It can be very hit or miss. I just got lucky this time. And it's not even the same kind of fish I really wanted. And I guess that's why you prefer hunting. Yep, and you also don't get the nibble scars on your tail where the fish bites you. I see. Though I suppose angling is also going to be hard for you without the forked tail we have. Actually, we have fishing rods for that where it come from. What's that? It's the principle is very similar. Basically, it's a long stick that we hold over the water. A line is connected to it that has bait and a hook at the end to catch the fish. When the fish bites the hook, we can reel the line to get the fish to us. So you're using a tool to do a very similar thing. Basically, yes. Sometimes we also fish using nets. Oh, some of us do that as well. Not my kind, but usually it's those who either work for a fishing company or sell seafood on the market. I imagine someone like you doesn't have to buy fish on the market, though. True, but sometimes it's easier to just get them there to get what I want to, instead of coming all the way up here. I see. Speaking of which, let me get a few more for later. Feel free. Once more, Adine took to the sky to hunt for fish. While it was interesting to watch her for a bit, she kept hunting for a while, and I started passing the time by collecting some seashells. Phew, that should last me for a while. Oh, what are those, seashells? They're for you. For me? What for? Well, you could decorate your apartment with them or something. I see. Maybe I should ask you to clarify this, but does this have any particular significance for humans? Not really, it's just a gift. Oh, okay. Well, sometimes we do fun stuff with seashells. Well, thank you, Dayzee. Well, that take was a good warm-up. I feel about ready to start with the practice now. Go ahead, I'll watch it from here. Actually, now that it'll be part of the official competition, I need a fancy stage name. Do you have something in mind? Not really. Have you got any ideas? Freefall, Lightning, Neo Wing, Angel, Stormhawk, Ooh, personally, Freefall sounds dope as fuck. But in honor of this game, Angels with Scaly Wings, Angel. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Ever since I knew about the contest, I've been thinking of this name. What a crazy coincidence! Do you mind if I go with that? Not at all. Angel it is then. Alright, are you ready to see some acrobatics? I certainly hope so. I'll start off with a few easy moves. The stage is yours, Angel. Thanks! Effortlessly, she took to the skies, circling around the area a few times before she started to do a few maneuvers. Whoa. A roll followed by a loop, after which she did another roll. It seemed to be less of a practice routine and more of a warm-up to me. Gradually, her maneuvers got more complicated. I saw circles that got smaller and smaller, a brief nosedive, multiple loops and rolls, one after the other. Then she landed and returned to me. What do you think? That was great. You haven't even seen the best part yet. What would that be? My very own Adine special, or rather Angel special. It's a routine I came with and have been practicing for a while. It's pretty difficult, so I'll spend the rest of my time until the competition perfecting it as much as possible. What does it look like? It starts off with circles near the ground. Then as I ascend, the circles get smaller and smaller until I reach the highest point. I go into a nosedive through the middle of the circles. At the show, I use a smoke trail when I'm doing the circles so everyone can actually see me going through the circles I made. Sounds pretty cool. Yeah, it does. That's what I thought. While no diving, I do a few rolls, and just before I hit the ground, I'll put up again. Lastly, I'll end with a few loops that go into the next maneuver. It all ends up making a neat shape in the sky when the smoke trails. It sounds like you got it all figured out already. Yeah, now I only have to perfect the execution of it. Don't let me hold you up. Alright, here we go. With the determination in her eyes, she took to the skies once more. When she reached a certain height, she slowly descended again until she was close to the water surface. Then she started to make circles, slowly ascending as the circles gradually got smaller and smaller. Once her circles became as small as possible, she suddenly turned herself around and went into a nosedive. Her speed quickly increased while she was moving towards the water. Then she did a roll and another, followed by a third. Dangerously close to the water's surface, she suddenly pulled up. But as she did so, one of her feet went below the surface, where apparently it caught on something No! Her to spin out of control! I saw her feeble attempt to regain control as she barely managed to steady herself enough to get back to the beach. She made a rough landing, rolling onto the ground a few times after colliding with the sand. Adine, are you alright? Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. It looked pretty impressive until the landing. Ouch, my wing hurts. Oh, no. Let me take a look. Can you move it? A bit, but it's really starting to hurt if I go further than this. At least it doesn't seem to be broken. Yeah, I guess it's a sprain. Happens all the time. Sometimes the sprain is worse. Okay, one time I legitimately thought my foot was gonna fall off because I sprained it, and the doctor literally looked me in the eye and said it would have been faster to heal if you just broke it. And I was like, fuck! Really? Well, not all the time, but it happens. What about the competition? The injury is going to put a serious damper on my practice schedule, but I'm not giving up anytime soon. I guess practice over for today at the very least. Yeah, let's head back. Aww, poor girl. I like her determination not giving up. I should have some bandages in the cabinet over there. I'll get them for you. What now? Would you do me the honors? Of course, where should I start? I think it's this joint right here. Yep, definitely. Okay, let me try to get this right. Here, that should do it. How does it feel? Much better. Maybe with this I can even start practicing again in a day or two. Just be safe. Of course. Oh, I totally forgot. I still have a copy of that map for her. Should I give her the map? Yes, and this unlocks the good end. Yes. By the way, I have something for you.
Really? What would that be?
Ta-da!
Is that what I think it is?
If you think it's a map of the underground building, then yes.
Wow, I didn't expect it. How'd you get it?
Let's just say I had a chance to inspect it alone, and there was no one between me and that copier to stop me.
That's amazing. You know people could get in big trouble for this, right?
Well, it's yours now. Do with it whatever you want.
I guess I will.
I have to warn you, though.
What about?
You might have heard that the water pockets surrounding the building. Any kind of disturbance could be fatal for any prospective explorers.
I heard about that. Is it really as bad as they say?
Yes, it is. I'd be careful if I were you, or at least wait until they have taken care of the water pockets so there's no danger if you decide to pay it a visit.
Alright, it'll be a while until I get the chance to visit anyway. Out of my free time right now, we'll go to practicing for the competition.
I see.
Thanks for the help with the bandage, and sorry about getting practice short today. I guess you didn't get to see any proper acrobatics after all.
It's not a big deal, your health is more important.
Are you going to come to the show?
If I can, sure.
Alright, you might be busy.
I'll have to see if I can make it. I'd love to be at the show, though.
I'll contact you later with all the details. We can figure it out from there.
Sounds good.
I'll see you next time then.
See you. Okay, so that's where we're gonna end it for this episode. So we were on Adine's path. Very important was to unlock Remy's end. You need to meet with Adine at least 2 times. So we can see the little girl. I don't know what that unlocks yet. Don't know why it's important, but it is. I have the notes with me. Thank you again, dude, for sending them. Anyway, so sucks that Adine hurt her wing, but hopefully she's all better by the competition. You'll have to stick around to see it with me. Anyway, if you like what you see, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can see my content in the future. Also, while you're here, if you have any game suggestions or you just want to say hi, leave it down in the comment section below. I'm Dayzee Hyena, and I'll catch you on the next bit.